Hey all, and welcome to a new HellfireComms Patreon Quick Look. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Little King's story for the Nintendo Wii, and who else but Richie could be my co-commentator for this one?
I'm so excited and so happy.
He made us start from the minute I turned the game on because of this friggin' intro here, which means I'll have to do my sync once we get to the title screen. Alright, enjoy your music, Mr. Man. What's Little King's story all about?
So, Little King's story, we're basically going to get sort of the main gist of the story right now, really, in this cutscene. It's about a little king called Kurobo, though you do get to name him yourself, and it's about his journey through the world, and basically it's about world domination, really, and it's brilliant. I'll go into more of it later, but I just want to point out that Little King's story is effectively classical music 101. Because what you're hearing right now is Ravel's Bolero.
Okay.
Which is just an amazing piece of classical music. Something that is particularly glorious for anybody who comes from Nottingham. Because the Bolero is the song that Jane Torval and Christopher Dean danced to on the Winter Olympics many years ago now, and I think they got like the first straight sixes at any sort of ice skating competition. So it's a pretty big thing for Nottingham, and this is just a really good version of the Bolero. And also, it's this version of the Bolero that actually inspired the rest of the soundtrack for Little King's story, because this was arranged by Yoko Shimomura, and then the composer, who is Yutaka Minobe, kind of then based a lot of the music then off of this version of the Bolero, so it's very important.
Hasn't this been ported to Steam recently?
It has, yes. I don't think it was necessarily the best port in the world. So the port came in August 2016, and I think it ended up being a little bit of a technical mess. So I'd say probably the Wii version is still the best version to play. There was also a pseudo-port remake to the PlayStation Vita, so it was an enhanced reimagining of the game under the title New Little King's Story, but it was basically just an absolute butchering of the original game, so this is the one that you want to play. Right,
so the gist is, kid gets into, like, a fantasy land.
Basically, yes.
Okay, well, now I have to do my sync. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That's how we sync stuff up if we're doing live commentaries. If we're doing it in post, I start talking about 1 second in, or if you want to be really pedantic, we start at 1.15 seconds in.
Well, yes, exactly. And can I just say, Land of Hope and Glory, Pomp and Circumstances, the opening menu screen song. Oh, it's just wonderful.
I almost wish the in-game graphical style was like this scratchy watercolour sort of thing.
Well, you see, it sort of is. It's not perfectly matched to this, but it does effectively look like an in-game version of this, but obviously you've got to think this came out in the Wii era, so there's only so much that they could actually do.
Right. Oh, so we've got a fancy language as well, a bit like The Sims or Animal Crossing.
Basically, yes, but it's kind of strange because, so you have kind of our helpers here. You have Hauser, you have Verd, Liam, and then Poncho, who's the cow. And Hauser's voice actor is actually the only one who has ever been heard to be speaking English, because in the trailers for the game, basically they had him speaking English, but then in the game it actually doesn't, so it's a bit strange, but it's still cool.
These cutscenes are so fucking loud, holy shit.
They're very loud, but they're beautiful, so it's all good.
One fine morning in the Alpoco Kingdom, a tattered flag raised above a ruined castle fluttered in the wind. Cattle mooed without a care, and the sky was just as fine and clear as could be. But then the Fire Nation attacked. Oh, bless. So yeah, Little King's story is actually Well, actually, viewers, for those of you with no, like, knowledge of the game, I want you to guess what genre it is before I reveal it. You've got 5 seconds. Just, like, write a comment and post it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little King Story is a RTS.
Yes, I mean, you could maybe go a little bit further than that, because its full genre is real-time strategy live simulation role-playing.
Well, I was talking about its primary thing.
I mean, so you have multiple sort of elements to it, because the main sort of combat is very much RTS, in the sense of it's very much like Pikmin, but it's perhaps a bit more simplistic than Pikmin.
Right.
In that you're mostly just going to be sending people at enemies rather than, you know, thinking, which character am I sending in this situation?
Right.
But then you have life simulation elements to it, because you're building up your kingdom and all sorts of stuff like that. And then the role-playing bit is just obviously the whole... You're playing as a king.
Isn't that green?
Yes.
In what language?
French.
Gotcha.
Although, basically, Verde and the way that is written, it's pretty similar across quite a few European languages, because I think it's most things with a Latinate root. You end up with like Verde, but yes. So yes, one of the things that I will say about Little King Story is that it does have a somewhat slowish start, in the sense of you do spend quite a bit of time sort of in a very small kingdom, because as you can see, you have 3 ministers, 3 cows, 12 citizens, a 0% job rate, and no money in the treasury.
Oh yeah, we're fucked. This is like post-Brexit apocalypse.
Pretty much, yes. So, yeah, we kind of need to fix that. So you spend quite a lot of the early game trying to amass money, build things in your kingdom to give people jobs to allow you to progress. And that's ultimately the reason why, rather than going to the first king, because the sort of primary bosses of this game are other kings.
Right.
We're just going to go to the first Guardian, which is a mini-boss, so to speak. Because otherwise, rather than a nice 40 minutes quick look, we'd be here for like 2-3 hours.
This is how I summon the co-comms, by the way. I sit upon my chair and I ring the Skype bell, and there's like, huzzah, huzzah for the head tom. Kinda like the language, honestly. It flows very well, even if it's not real, and it also infuriates me.
Yeah, thankfully it's just sort of that nice, slightly chirpy thing, and they just sort of pitch it at the right volume, so that it doesn't end up being too irritating, but it sort of works. I mean, I've been playing Okami HD as of late, because obviously love a bit of Okami, and I had to get the HD version for the PS4. But yeah, when I started the settings, they had the voices a little bit too loud for my liking. And as much as I love Okami, having those voices at max volume was just like, oh no, this is not quite sitting right, so I have to lower them a bit.
Alright, where should I go, Mr. Man?
So basically, you are going to want to go and find some of your citizens.
Is this a citizen?
This is a citizen, this is Josh, that's Lily, and you want to press the B button in order to recruit them.
Okay. I think I noticed earlier it shoots out a little star and whatnot.
Yes. So basically you want to recruit as many people as possible. Well, you can only recruit 5 at the minute. And then you want to explore. Basically, you can see little X's on your map. Those are holes that sometimes you can dig into. You can't dig into that one yet. That needs a farmer.
Okay.
But if you like fling people towards those bushes by pressing the A button, not towards the log. You've got to kind of direct yourself towards the thing that you want to target.
Oh, I thought that was a bush. My bad, sorry.
No, that's a log. But you can hit those bushes that are just in that clearing.
Huh, okay.
I believe if you press the Z button, you get a little reticule, which is a godsend.
That's pretty... I kind of wish Pikmin had something like that, actually.
Yeah, and then basically you just sort of throw people at things. This is the reason that I said that, on the face of it, Little King Story's combat and general world exploring is actually quite simple.
Oh, they're going down. Please come back up. I only have like 5 of you.
They will do, don't worry. You can throw in more if you want to get it done quicker.
There you go. Just all dig together.
Well, of course. So, the one thing that... Right now you don't have the opportunity really so much to do much. Because... Obviously you've only got carefree adults.
Right.
And they can punch things and they can do a bit of digging, but they're pretty useless at basically everything else. So you've got a hole down there that's going to be quite useful for you. You want to just throw your citizens at everything you can possibly get to.
Okay.
Because you will then get treasure, and once you've kind of picked up everything that you possibly can, then head back to the your throne, and you will be able to cash that in and get something, which will be able to allow you to progress.
Okay. Let's see. Kind of having a little bit of trouble discerning what is a gate and what is not right now.
Yes, that bit can be a little bit frustrating, but really you are effectively trapped in this very small area. I'd say go back to the clearing and hit the other 2 bushes.
Alright.
Because they might have something in them. In all likelihood, they probably will.
Yeah, there's still an X here, so...
Oh no, the bushes are gone, so if you head back to your castle, and then there might be a few bushes around the castle.
This is one of the most genuine quick looks to date, because it is literally me learning an entire game's mechanics right off the bat.
Yeah, and also it's... Oh, there's a hole that you can do with.
Too late. I've already made my decision.
Well, okay. Let's hope we have enough money.
It's King Ntom, not King Ntom and Richie in one body.
Well, yes, but you're dealing with an old hat king, the guy who did a walkthrough of Little King Story the other year, I think.
Ooh, nice. That was in regards to the money, not the Let's Play, although I'm sure the Let's Play is fine.
Yes, so you are going to need to go out and get some more money.
Okay, well, I'm not going to beat the world record at this rate.
No, well, I wouldn't worry about that, because really, as I said, the game has quite a slow start to it. And that's fine. But it's nice in a sense because it does allow you to get used to the mechanics.
Yeah.
Because they are perhaps slightly peculiar in terms of how it plays. Once you've gotten to grips with it all, it feels quite natural.
Just feeling kind of chill right now, you know? I'm guessing I can't dig in these types of holes yet.
Yes, you can't yet. You need another job type to be able to do that.
Okay.
I think you should have enough to get the next thing.
Nice. So it is a little bit like Animal Crossing in that regard as well, then.
Yeah, it's got a whole bunch of a lot of different items. So, I mean, originally it began development under the title Project O, and was being executively produced by Yasuhiro Wada, who is the creator of the Story of Seasons, or, whatchamacallit?
Harvest Moon.
Harvest Moon franchise. And, then, basically they brought in Yoshiro Kimura to be the director and the sort of lead producer on it, and as there were no other staff at the time, Kimura contacted Norikazu Yasunagi to aid in the game's design, and brought other people in for various things. And he came up with the concept of Little King Story, which drags all those different elements, but also is really heavily inspired by the children's book, The Little Prince.
Oh.
Which is a very famous I believe it's originally French, yes. Very famous French storybook that tells the story of a man who meets a little prince and tells the story of his conversations with him, and it's basically sort of like an allegory for adulthood and the sort of foibles of adults and the people of Earth.
Yeah, I get you.
And the way of thinking, and there was actually there's been a couple of films of it, but there was an animated one that was done relatively recently, and I think that's still on Netflix right now, and that's actually quite a fascinating watch, particularly because I think I'd just come off of doing my walkthrough of Little King's story, so I'd had all of that stuff to do with the Little Prince, and then thinking, oh, and it was just quite fun.
I'm loving the charm of the game so far, I have to say. That's a very, milquetoast compliment, because I could just throw out charming and not really mean it, but I am really digging the world and the characters.
Oh, it's just one of those things where it's ultra cute, but it manages to pull it off with just being just really charming, yeah. But the thing that's actually really fun with Little King's story is that there's an undercurrent of darkness that is not apparent to begin with.
Yeah.
But slowly but surely begins to rear its head.
Okay. Where is that farm I just
If
built?
you head down to the main town.
Okay.
And make sure you pick up some villagers, because you're going to need to give them the job.
Don't really have enough time in a quick look to learn all these individual people's characters and flaws and whatnot, but I'm assuming this is it?
This is it. So, send people in.
I see. Time for you to get jobs.
You have got to aim it a little bit more carefully than that.
Fine, I guess.
If you go a bit further to the left and sort of head straight on.
Oh, like this.
Yeah, basically you've got to see the thing light up for you to know that you're definitely going to be alright.
I'm a silly.
So, yes, now you have hard-working farmers. And hard-working farmers can dig actual holes, so you know the hole that you have in that clearing. You can now dig that up.
Good stuff.
And see what lies beneath.
Is that V thing above their heads their health?
Yes, that is their health. So, some citizens have naturally more health than others.
Whoa! I actually wasn't expecting that. Whoa! What the hell?
This is a hot spring. Hot springs allow you to heal yourself when you have gotten into combat.
Interesting.
And I believe you should now be able to attack the logs, which means that your horizons will broaden in terms of what you can explore.
Now we can get a lot more money, and I like the sound of that.
Exactly. I think you need another 100,000 bol, so basically get chasing and just ransack everything. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's like a massive turnip, go dig it up. If it's a log, go break it up. Because everything's got money in it.
So, when did you first play Little King's story, mate? How did it even come to your attention?
Honestly, I'm not quite sure. I think I remember seeing it in a variety of things and just hearing lots of good things about it, but didn't really look anything towards it. I think because I saw it and just thought, it sort of looks like one of those ultra kiddie games. Basically doing the one thing that, over the years, I've realised, don't even think like that, because you'll always be proved wrong. Basically, and I can't remember when it was. I think it might have been around 2010-ish, I want to say. I mean, I'm just going to double check when the game actually came out. So it came out in Europe in 2009, so it was around 2010, 2011, I think. And I think I'd heard good things about it. It won awards in how shall I put it? Official Nintendo magazine or something of that description.
Alright, yeah.
And I think I saw it and I just thought, you know what? I think I'll actually get it, see what it's like. And then I got it and played it, and it was really good. Yeah, and then it took me, like, I'm pretty sure I 100%ed it back in the day as well. But then I got eventually partway down the line of doing my YouTube, and I was just like, you know what? I actually want to do a playthrough of this.
I assume I need a timberman or something similar?
Yes, you're going to need a lumberjack for that one.
That's the one, fucking timberman. Like, come on, Tom, how old are you?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can't deal with right now, and that can be a little bit frustrating perhaps, but really you get used to it. Areas of the world are going to be blocked off to you because you're not going to have the jobs to be able to deal with it.
Okay. So do I sell this stuff? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, so you collect a load of items and that goes into your treasury.
Right.
And that gives you money to spend on projects.
In your own time, lads.
So this is one of the things. So farmers are exceptionally good at digging. But when it comes to taking down things like this, they're not so good. Same with combat.
Right.
They're not really combat oriented. I mean, as you can see, some of your citizens have already had quite a lot of damage done to them.
Oh, okay.
Which were done by those, I can't remember what they're called, I think it's turnip heads.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so if you wanted to heal them, you would take them to the hot springs and send them in, and that'll heal them up. Also, whenever you start a new day, that will heal them up as well.
Ain't nothing but like a good bat's sleep to get the blood pumping again. Alright, lads, you've been working hard. Let's go in the hot springs. Do I just throw them in?
Yeah, so you throw them in, same as you would do everything else, and they'll jump in, heal up, it's all good. There are limits in terms of how many times you can use hot springs.
I see, it's breaking down, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a health thing, and so you're going to want to pay attention to that, but it's not too much of a worry in the grand scheme of things. So, yes, lots of things here. Now, obviously you were in a bit of combat. I didn't really tell you the key to doing good combat is that you can tell when your enemies are going to attack. Because you'll see a little puff of smoke come. And basically, I believe what you want to do at that point is, I think it's press B. And your citizens will finish what they're doing. And basically, that means that you can call them away from the enemy, so that they're not going to get hit.
Okay.
So you do end up playing quite a big game of cat and mouse, really, when you're in the combat in Little King Story, because you'll kind of go in, attack, oh, they're going to attack now, back off, and you have to play around with that. It gets a bit more complicated when you start introducing a whole bunch of other job types.
Right.
Because eventually you get things like archers and people who can kill specific enemies. So there are some enemies that will only be able to be killed by one specific job type. So for example, later on there's a giant chicken, which I think it's called a cock-a-doodle-doo or something. And well, you can defeat it with other job types. You really want to have a chef on board because they can one-hit kill them.
Wow.
I believe there's an enemy called it's something like a conquildor. So like a cockerel conquildor type thing. And that can only be killed by a chef. So as you get later on in the game, you end up having much more complex setups of workers, really.
Oh, I can make a shortcut here.
Yes. And really that's a lot of the stuff that you end up doing in the early parts of Little King Story is finding your route into places and exploring.
Right, because you've only got a set amount of time, like, during the day, I assume.
Well, so you can, if you wanted to, just go as much as possible. It really doesn't matter. But if you work your citizens too hard, then they're going to start to hate you. So you don't want to do that.
Yeah, well, like, my first day on the job, I restore, like, the economy, I get the jobs trade booming, but everyone hates me.
So yeah, you don't want to really do that. So yes, I mean, I'd say once you've done that, just try and destroy that log in the corner there, and you pretty much hit up everything that you really can do right now, other than I think the hole that's to the top of where the castle was.
Okay. So when are we going to get into a battle? I assume we have to build the battle place first.
Yeah, you're going to have to build a guard hut first before they are going to let you go into the Guardian battle. As I said, we're going to be here for about 40 minutes. You can get a hole in there, I think, which could get you some more money. And there's also I think it's an escargot, or a couple of escargots. And obviously they are also enemies that you can take down. And you might want to, you might not. I'd say really just go for it. Peg it when they're kind of shaking like that, so that, you know, you can save your citizens.
I'm good.
Well, apart from the fact that you let Josh die.
What has Josh ever done for me?
And Merlin.
What's Merlin ever done for me?
He's worked for you!
Yeah, well, I forgot to mention I'm a dictator.
Well, you really are. And one of the things that happens later on is that you'll end up with, like, citizens sending you letters moaning about how hard you're working them sometimes. And, yeah, it's quite funny. We can't do it quite yet, but after a certain point in the game, if you let people die, you can actually go to their funerals.
Oh no!
I've still actually never seen a funeral in this game, because I was never around at the right time to witness it.
Oh, okay, I thought you were just like, oh, I just let everyone die.
No, I was never around at the right time of day to witness it, because all these people are going about their own lives. But if ever you want to bring someone back to life, you need to go to the Over There beach, which I'll point out to you because we're probably going to want to pop over there tomorrow morning, because every morning anybody who's died will turn up at that beach.
Wow, we went well over the requirement.
Which is very good, because you're going to have to spend a bit more money on building up your soldiers.
Oh god, it's still going.
You can go through it a bit quicker, I think, if you just mash A.
I like the sound of ticking money, mate. This is no skin off my nose. But I lost 20,000 due to deaths. Oh well, there's always more men.
There are, but you don't want to waste them.
Let's see what Liam has to say. The rising superstar. Okay, tutorials and whatnot. That's fun.
Yeah, basically, Liam is the anything man, and he will tell you anything you want to know. He's, yeah, basically your tutorial man.
Alright, Castletown, we build a guardhouse, initiate that shit. Oh yeah, we still have lots of lovely money left over.
We do indeed. And pretty much, yes, we have workplaces, it's all good in the hood.
I'm an important king. My title is in all caps.
King Ntom!
Ntom, you have to shout it. Okay, we're still missing ministers, cows, chickens, and citizens.
Yes.
Alright, Hauser, you don't have to rub it in.
Well, you see, here's the thing. Hauser really wants us to expand our kingdom. Basically, he's the one who has the dreams of world domination.
Okay.
And you may think that I'm not serious with that. No, he is. He's entirely serious about world domination.
That's not a twist then, it's just a basic part of his character.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
it's sort of played as a little bit of a twist in the the very early points of the game. Like, you find out very quickly about Hauser's priorities.
Alright, time for a little resty poo, and I guess since we're getting into the battle stages of the game now, that a proper fight can't be too far beyond.
Yeah, you are on the road there.
I love my shiny crown. It's the little things that make being a king so satisfying.
Oh, I know. You know what's even better?
What's that?
Later on in the game, you can get the ability to change the gem in your scepter.
Oh my god, yes. Is there an emerald? Please tell me there's an emerald.
I'm pretty sure there's an emerald.
Yes! Oh, well, Hauser looks like I'll have to actually do my job as king and get us out of this fucking depression.
Well, no. Hauser's going to be doing the one doing most of the thinking. We're the ones who will do most of the heavy lifting.
Okay.
But the suggestion box that he suggested is something you're definitely going to need to build. But also it's quite helpful, because it allows you to really explore a bit better, and you'll get suggestions from people that will allow you to progress. Before you build the town square, I think you do have enough money.
Uh-huh.
But I would see if you can get to the over there beach. Because once you've built the suggestion box with the town square, it'll send you into the next day.
Okay, I got you.
I don't know whether we'll be able to make it to the over there beach. I don't know if it's blocked off at the minute, but it's worth a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, the point of the game is exploring with your townspeople and whatnot. God, I
Exactly.
hope the families of the deceased aren't mad at me.
I mean, we'll see what happens, because from the looks of things, it's not saying enemies washed up, so I think they are already in our town, but we can but try. So, one of the things with the jobs that's important is that different jobs give you extra kind of health boosts.
Right.
So, for example, if you turn someone into a guard, then they're gonna be... they've got more health, and therefore they're much more effective. So, if you go back where you were... Oh, you're gonna heal everyone up. Good shout.
There you go, I'm learning. That's how games work, you learn as you play.
Exactly. So go back to that southern area,
Okay.
and then you want to head to your right.
Okay, we play a game of chicken. I've got it now.
You see, you're already there. That's the way you need to do it.
Brilliant. There you go, lads, get stuck in. Who knows what
And
kind of
also,
treasure will
Tom.
be down there. What's up?
Look at... face your king towards you.
Okay.
Can you see that he's now got a little beard?
I can't, actually.
You'll probably see it more when you go cash everything in. But basically, so the over there beach is over to your right. I'm not sure whether you can actually get there yet or not, but it's worth having a look.
Okay. Guys, you go around the fence, okay? Although, to be fair, Turnip Man was having a bit of a time himself.
Yeah, your villagers are not the smartest people in the world.
Yeah, they really are Pikmin then.
They really are. So yes, if you attack that, it might take you a bit of time. So yeah, you can get people to work on the hole.
Multitasking!
It's the joy. It's not quite as excellent multitasking as, say, Pikmin, where you can leave Pikmin to do their jobs.
Right.
But there is still a bit of it, so that's quite nice, because basically everyone's got to be doing the jobs in the vicinity of the screen.
Right.
If you've left them, they'll run and catch up with you, which can be a bit annoying, but you sort of just deal with it.
Oh, I have enough to build the town square now.
I mean, you've had enough to build the town square since the beginning, because you did very well on your last day.
Thank you, what's this say?
So yes, ahead, over their beach.
This is one of Alpoco's notable sights. Legend has it that the kingdom of the dead lies beyond the sea, and those who have died sometimes wash ashore, encased in a pot. Huh.
Yes, so when you go to the beach, you can pick up anybody who has sadly departed. I think because of when you lost your first two, I don't think they turned up here. I think they just respawned in town as carefree adults.
Okay.
but it's certainly something that, as you get later down the line, you do want to just be aware of.
There you go. I should really have come out with a full troop of farmers, but what are you gonna do?
Well, farmers or guards. And really, you are going to want to get quite a lot of guards.
Well, what's a king without his soldiers, you know?
Exactly, you need a royal guard.
What's all this about?
Well, you are not going to be able to do anything with that for a very, very, very long time. Like, that's near end game, that.
Wow. What types of environments can be found in the game besides, like, country and beach, then?
So, each of the different king's areas are based around their sort of theme gimmick. So, the first king, which we're not going to see, is the Oni King. And he is, obviously, he's a demon-y type. So, you go through sort of this valley, sort of dark and kind of mysterious and awful. And then you have King Shishkebabu, who is very rotund and loves food and sweets and all that jazz. So you've got a kind of sweet-themed area. You've got King TV Dinner,
Really?
which is an entirely TV-based area. That one's quite fun. You've got King Jumbo Champloon, which is just an absolute hodgepodge. And, like, really an absolute hodgepodge. It's chaos, and it's wonderful. And then you have a whole bunch of others as well. So there are varied areas, but a lot of it is sort of this kind of grasslandy type area.
Okay, I'm assuming this is where we build the soldiers.
No, because that's a house that was there when you got the farmers.
I see.
That's where you get your guards, the thing with the massive guard hat.
Oh, silly Tom. Nice, nice. We only need the one farmer, it's fine.
You might want to get rid of your carefree adult, though.
How do I pick a specific person?
I think you press up and down.
Yeah, I
on
just did it, yeah.
Yeah, up and down on the D-pad. So it's a very long time since I actually played Little King Story. So I'm trying to remember all of my little tools. Because I think the C button immediately disbands people, so don't do that. Yeah, I think that's probably about it. So you can definitely dig in there if you wanted to with the farmer.
Nice. I can't get over how cosmic that is.
Oh, I know, but the one thing is, you can't send guards in to dig, because they can't dig.
Well, they're trained to fight, not excavate.
Exactly. So, I mean, one of the things that's quite a fun bit of strategy, I suppose, is it's recommended that the people that you turn into guards are the people who naturally have higher health than everybody else.
I can see,
Because, yeah, it adds to your health of your citizens, and, yeah, don't do that. Because that hurts them.
Oh, so it does, yeah.
Yeah. On more than one occasion, I have accidentally sent my soldiers into things, because there are certain types of these holes where enemies will pop out of them. And if the enemy decides it wants to sit over the top of the hole, you can send your soldiers into attack, and, yeah, what ends up happening is that they end up falling down the hole instead.
Okay, do you think it's time for me to build the town square now?
I say it's definitely time to build the town square.
Okie dokie. Ding 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 ding. Nice. I'll even have enough left to get takeout afterwards.
Oh, definitely. Yes, can you see the beard now?
No, I skipped over it again, sorry.
You should be able to see it when it changes camera angle.
I can sort of see it, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, as your king gets damaged, he ages up, basically. So when you've got 1 hit point left, he's bearded, he's gone grey.
That's really interesting, actually.
Yeah, it's a really nifty little touch.
Alright, off to Betty Buys I go. Having a sip of tea, because I'm a hard-working king, and I think I've earned that. Ah. Oh. A spy, is it?
No. Someone's seen the suggestion box and they're putting a suggestion in there.
Get better at kinging. Oh, well. If you're not going to leave constructive criticism, don't fucking bother. Alright, itching for a fight, a scrap right about now.
Well, we shall see what happens, see what we've got in our suggestion box.
I wonder if it is actually a suggestion to take on the Guardian.
Well, that is basically what happens.
Oh, okay.
So the suggestion box does 2 things. Mainly one, but sometimes you get letters from people, just voicing opinions, as you'd expect, but also you will get quests. And quests are sort of your primary way of making money in the game, because you go and do them, it's generally kill an enemy, or what have you. But yes, this is the one that's important, the Graveyard Rumour.
Alright, we shall tackle this, because we have soldiers ready and waiting to give their lives for the glory of Entomtopia.
Yes, and I think you're going to like this. I will say it's not going to mess around. It's really not going to mess around.
Okay, well, I didn't sign on to play an easy game.
But it's a delight.
So not a boss, a mini-boss.
Yes, so basically what these Guardian UMAs, as they're called, UMA standing for Unidentified Mysterious Animal,
Gotcha.
basically allow you to expand your kingdom. So you can build new stuff in those areas once they are clear. And yeah, just make sure you have a team filled with soldiers.
That's what I'm doing. I
think one farmer might be helpful, because I think there might be maybe, I can't remember if there's a hole in there or not.
I've got one with me, so...
But yes, you want those soldiers, because they're going to need all the strength they can get.
Right, I have 4 soldiers and a farmer, so that should be good.
That should be good indeed. You are going to have to kill him first, unfortunately.
It's fine. Sometimes a king has to order his men to get their hands dirty.
Well, of course. I mean, there are a couple of Guardian UMAs towards... Well, actually, the second Guardian UMA that you pretty much ever face is easily one of the most terrifying when you first face it down.
Wow.
Because it's, like, pretty much kills instantly sometimes. So, if you want to go to the lovely, delightful graveyard, that's over to your left.
Okay. Oh yeah, of course it is. I was there. Silly Tom.
Yeah.
Don't mock me, okay? I'm having a good time.
I know you are, and I'm so happy, because as you can probably tell, I'm super excited. I love this game so much. And I just want more people to play it, really.
Huh. I don't know what I expected, but he's a lot more smaller than I was anticipating.
Well, this is Cowbones, a Guardian UMA, and we get to battle it to the amazing William Tell Overture.
Silly fool. Attack!
Yeah, it's just... I remember when I first did this, and I was just like, oh my god, this is like the best thing ever. I was just over them, because I mean, the William Tell Overture is a classic. And I just thought this was just like so ridiculously silly that it's what made me fall in love with the game pretty much immediately.
Didn't really maximise my chances there as much as I could have done. Oh, poor guy. Attack! Attack!
Yeah, you're pretty much okay. So the trick to Cowbones is obviously you want to attack him whenever the head's flown off.
Right.
And you can tell when the head's coming back on, so you've got enough time to get your soldiers off in order to actually go in for the attack.
Oh. Cornered myself there, it's fine. Taking it nice and slow.
Yeah, so once again, it's the whole bait and switch. It's all a case of getting your timing down. So as soon as you see the head there, get your soldiers off of there.
Oh yeah, because it stuns them, of course.
It stuns them, so if you get them off soon enough, then they're going to be alright.
Slowly learning, slowly learning. Ah, you silly fools. Slightly fudged up the timing there, but it's fine. Oh god! Jesus, direct shockwave from the cow.
Yeah, and Aiden croaked it.
Ah, well. You know, these guys knew what they were signing on for, you know?
This is true, and also, I've had far worse citizen deaths over my time playing this game.
Come on, lads. One last go.
But yeah, one thing you do not want to do is do not run out of this arena until it's dead, because that resets the fight.
Well, you know, that's to be expected, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that you can escape if it's going really badly for you. But yes, you won!
Nice! Oh, I feel it in my heart. I am a good king. I sacrificed one of my men, but in the end, the town is the winner.
Well, of course. And now what is glorious is that there's going to be a festival.
In my honour?
Pretty much, yeah.
Ah, the cow's loving it. Congratulations, Ntom. You are a good and righteous king. Wow, I got paid for that mission.
You do. Whenever you're facing down a Guardian UMA or a King, you are loaded by the end of it.
I suppose because, you know, you got to expand quickly and that's how the game, you know, deals with progress.
Basically, yes.
Oh, I guess we have come to the end of the HFC Patreon Quick Look of Little King.
Do you want to see your festival first?
Ah, yes, getting too ahead of yourself, Tom. You need to be patted on the back. You need to shake some hands. Huh. Interesting, so we have more land to build on now.
Exactly, and this is how you expand your kingdom. You take on Guardian UMA quests, you kill them, and then you can build more. And this is basically why it'd take a while. So if you head outside, you should be in a festival. Hey!
Everything's so beautiful.
So you get the glorious, I think it's La Traviata, the drinking song, which plays during the festivals.
Oh, this is sort of morbid, maybe?
So yes, it is the drinking song, but it's from La Traviata by Giuseppe Verdi.
Uh-huh. So is this all it is? It's just people dancing?
Basically, yes. It's just a whole bunch of people dancing, celebrating your victory. If you talk to them, they will say things about sometimes how good you are, sometimes about things that you're going to go and do, and sometimes they might have a moan. It really does just depend.
I specialise in... But I don't know why that's in quotation marks. It's literally what you do.
But yeah, it's really fun because you'll end up with these festivals after kind of big fights. Generally after sort of the first Guardian UMA tends to just be the kings.
Oh, I'm getting a load of exploitable images here.
But yeah, festivals are just a delight, and I love this game so much!
Yeah, it's pretty great. This has been the HFC Patreon Quick Look on Little King's story. I'm sensing a bit of potential here, Rich. I don't know. I'll put it in the maybe pile for now, but thank you very much. And I should actually look up the person who commissioned this, because I forgot to mention them right at the start. Come on, Notepad, why aren't you opening quicker? Oh, Jesus. I'm on my arse here. Cruel12, thank you so much for helping to support HellfireComms. If you guys want your own Patreon Quick Look, well, you're going to have to pony up the dough to help support the group. Check patreon.com/HellfireComms for all the prices, and we'll see you next time for another Patreon Quick Look. Goodbye.